Every day you check your phone at least 60 times a day. Matter of fact, you might have just checked your phone a couple minutes ago. What is it about these devices that keeps us so addicted? Why is it the first thing we do when we wake up for most of us is scroll through our phone? And why is it like right before we go to bed, the last thing we do is scroll through our phone? Believe it or not, the term smartphone was used by phone maker Ericsson in 1997 to describe the concept phone, the GS88. Don't worry, I'm not here to give you a lecture about phones and whatnot, but if you're old enough, you're probably old enough to remember some of these wonderful phones we've had over the years. The Nokia 3310, the Sidekick, the Motor Razor, and one of my personal favorites, the BlackBerry. Which brings me to this. In 2007, the late great Steve Jobs introduced the world to a revolutionary product called the iPhone. The iPhone was one of a kind product that combined music, phone calls, and internet all in one with a huge, beautiful display. And the rest is history after that. See, the thing about these smartphones is it gave developers the power to develop applications that we, the users, could download and enjoy accordingly. Me personally, some of my favorite early apps were My Talking Tom, Fruit Ninja, Temple Run, Vine, and so on. Don't judge me on this. And the more and more these apps became available to us, the more and more we started spending more time on our phones. Today, the average American spends about 5 hours on their phone per day. 5 hours. And that's a lot of time spent just to be spent just staring at a phone, right? Think about it. 5 hours is actually longer than the Snyder Cut of Justice League. I'm sorry, DC fans, but that was like a 4 hour snooze fest. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but these numbers will just keep going up and up indefinitely. Mark Twain has a famous quote that goes, too much of anything is bad. And that's the problem here. Screen time went from 2 hours per day on average to over 5 hours per day on average. It's being reported that in 2022, teenagers have over 8 hours of screen time per day on average. So the question is, how do we take back control over our time? Do we just stop using phones? Do we delete the apps that we have on our phones altogether? I mean, how practical is this? Let's be honest. See, I'm a moderator on a subreddit called Phone Addiction. And throughout the months that I've been a moderator, I've realized that most people that are on the sub admit they have an excessive screen time problem. At the same time, they want to create value from the time they spend scrolling through their phone. And many people as well on the sub admit that blatant just deletion of these apps usually causes a relapse whenever they re-download these apps because they know in the long term it's not sustainable. Today, it's hard for many to imagine to go a day without using their smartphone. Smartphones have become intertwined in our lives. They've become part of who we are. And it's really, really hard to imagine going on without. So, if I take the example of teenagers that are spending on average 8 hours per day on their phone, and you multiply that by five, that's literally a full time job. This is excluding weekends, the time they spend on their phones, scrolling on the weekends as well. So, you could ask yourself, why don't they get paid doing that? Literally, because it's almost a full time job, right? And that's why me and my co founder set out to build Shilling. Shilling is a screen time app that converts the time you spend on your phone into investing in the stock market. So put it like this, imagine you invested $1 for every hour you scroll through Instagram or Facebook since 2012, the year the company went public. How much money do you think you'd have had invested by now? Probably a lot, right? So basically that's what Shilling is. Very simple and easy to use. All you have to do is create your Shilling account, build your portfolio with stocks, ETFs, or crypto, set your investment amount, and set your screen time limit. So whenever you exceed your screen time limit, you make automatic investments into your portfolio. And that's what I call passive investing. Since opening up our waitlist, we've had over 2,000 people sign up. We've also been growing and engaging with our community via Facebook groups, and we'll be releasing our public beta in November, which you could be part of. We see Shilling as a tool that will help people improve their habits around finances, wellness, and so on. When you go on a weight loss journey, you don't go on a crash diet and expect long term results. That's the same here with Shilling. Extreme measures like not using your phone, deleting apps, and so on usually result in a zero sum game. Look, we're not trying to be the screen time police here, and we're also not trying to punish our users from using their phones. We just don't want our users to feel guilty about their screen time habits. And this starts with helping them make fractional investments, which could have immense long term results. Our team is currently made up of myself and my two co founders, Doe and Paul. I personally have over 4 years of experience in the accounting and finance industry, and my co founders have over 10 years of experience in back end and software application development. So, if you're an accredited investor and you've loved what you heard today about Shilling and you want to be part of our journey, you could reach out to me via email at info@shilling.com.